guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's story is about Amir Khaled, a Cairo-born archaeology student who refused to accept that the world's most iconic monument had already given up all its secrets. Amir had grown up staring at the horizon beyond Cairo, where those massive limestone triangles pierced the desert sky. Tourists came and went, snapping photos, buying souvenirs. But for Amir, the pyramids weren't just relics of the past. They were alive, a riddle carved in stone. Join me on a journey through the ancient world and uncover history like never before. Let's go back to the story. Amir had grown up in the shadow of the pyramids. The Giza Plateau wasn't just a tourist attraction or a historical site. It was a living presence in the landscape, an enigma that hummed beneath the surface of daily life in Cairo. For Amir, the pyramids weren't just relics of the past. They were a living riddle, carved in stone, daring him to decipher their secrets. He had devoured every book on Egyptology in the city's libraries, pored over maps and satellite images, even studied ancient texts in the university archives. But his professors dismissed many of his theories as flights of fancy. To them, the pyramids were tombs, nothing more. But Amir couldn't shake the feeling that they were hiding something deeper, something more profound. He had discovered an ancient text that spoke of the Great Pyramid as a machine for the soul, aligned with the cosmos, to guide the dead king's spirit on its journey through the afterlife. The idea sounded insane, yet there had to be more to these structures than just burial chambers. But his questions only earned him skeptical looks and patronizing smiles. They couldn't see what burned inside him, the insatiable curiosity that demanded answers, the yearning to understand the pyramids on a level no one had achieved in centuries. Then one night in 2019, everything changed. The city sprawled around him, indifferent to the mysteries that slumbered nearby. But Amir couldn't sleep. He felt a magnetic pull toward the pyramids, as though the stones themselves were calling to him. Under the cloak of darkness, he slipped out of his house and into the desert night. The wind whispered tales of antiquity as he walked. The farther away he got from the city's hum, the deeper the silence pressed in around him, broken only by the rhythmic chirping of crickets. As he approached the foot of the Great Pyramid, its immensity loomed over him, casting long shadows in the moonlight. The sheer scale of the structure both humbled and invigorated him. Security cameras rolled overhead, spotlights scanning the ground, searching for any sign of intrusion. But Amir had planned his route carefully, choosing paths shrouded in the darkest corners of the pyramid's protective embrace. He moved like a phantom, scaling the ancient stones, his body a silhouette against the luminous desert sky. Halfway up, he paused, catching his breath. His fingers scraped raw against the weathered limestone, each grain etched by centuries of wind and wandering spirits. That's when he saw it. Carved into one of the blocks was a strange marking that didn't match the quarry cuts or the erosion patterns. It wasn't graffiti, nor was it new. It was a symbol, an eye framed by 7 stars, the very same constellation he had studied in the ancient manuscripts. They described a forgotten brotherhood of priests who believed the Great Pyramid wasn't just a tomb, but a machine for the soul, aligned not only with Orion, but with a star that shouldn't exist in this galaxy. Could it really be true? Was there a hidden meaning behind this celestial symbol? Hope surged through him. He continued his climb until the flat plateau of the summit stretched beneath him. The desert was silent, broken only by the faint buzzing of the wind. But what lay there was the real mystery. A slab of stone unlike any other, smoother and darker, set apart from the rest. Etched into it, with inhuman precision, the same 7-star constellation. But here, one of the stars glowed faintly, not with paint, not with quartz, but with something Amir could only describe as power. It pulsed beneath his touch, and for an instant he swore he heard chanting, deep and ancient, echoing from within the pyramid itself. Had he triggered something, or was he imagining it, strung thin by adrenaline? Suddenly, a flash of light pierced the void over the desert, not from Cairo, not from an aircraft, but from the heavens directly above Orion's belt. Bright, sharp, unblinking, the sand below stirred as though the pyramid itself was exhaling. Amir stumbled back, staring as unmarked stone blocks at the base of the pyramid seemed to shift into place for the first time in millennia. The light faded, and silence fell once more. The pyramid stood stoic and inscrutable against the pre-dawn sky. When security arrived, finding him alone at the summit, they arrested him immediately. Official reports said nothing, just another reckless climber fined and detained. But Amir knew what he saw, and every night since, that same star, which no astronomer can name, flickers faintly above the Great Pyramid, watching, waiting. So when you stand before the pyramids, ask yourself, are they truly finished giving up their secrets? Or is history still unfolding in the desert shadows? The arrest changed Amir, turning his obsession into a burning crusade. No longer content to live a double life as a dutiful son and closet adventurer, he dropped out of university, infuriating his family and sacrificing his scholarship. With youthful arrogance, he believed he had uncovered the key to unraveling the pyramid's secrets. He scoured the desert, exploring hidden chambers and shafts, following obscure leads from antique texts. But progress was slow and frustrating. His discoveries, though fascinating, yielded more questions than answers. Meanwhile, his father, a respected archaeologist, grew increasingly worried about his son's obsession. He pleaded with Amir to return to school, to study Egyptology the right way, brick by meticulous brick. But Amir couldn't listen. He had glimpsed too much to ignore the call. There had to be a way to decipher the Great Pyramid's celestial code, to understand why it hummed with power under the stars. One evening, poring over an ancient map, Amir noticed a small detail he had overlooked before. Hidden deep inside the labyrinthine passages of the complex was a shaft, barely wider than a man, leading straight down into the earth. No one had explored it thoroughly, believing it to be just another ventilation shaft. But Amir felt a chill. Could it be something more? Was there a way down into the earth that no one had discovered? Ignoring his father's protests, Amir gathered supplies and prepared to descend. Armed with a flashlight, rope and a camera, he crawled through the narrow opening. The air grew colder, damper. Sand trickled down around him, whispering tales of the Earth's forgotten past. After what felt like hours, the tunnel opened into a vast cavern. Gasping, Amir stepped inside. The cavern was adorned with carvings that sent a jolt of excitement through him. They depicted scenes from the afterlife, guiding souls on their journey toward the heavens. But one image in particular made his heart race. There, in the center, was the Eye of Ra, the same symbol he had seen on the pyramid and in the night sky. Above him, a gaping hole in the ceiling allowed stars to shine directly onto the eye, bathing it in ethereal light. Could this be the key to everything? As Amir explored further, he discovered more markings, symbols and diagrams that hinted at an advanced understanding of astronomy and mathematics. There were also instruments, eerily similar to modern telescopes, suggesting that whoever had built the pyramids had gazed at the heavens with the same wonder and curiosity that drove him now. But then the ground beneath his feet rumbled. Dust rained down from the ceiling as a deep voice echoed through the cavern. "Don't move, Amir. You have stepped into a place you do not belong." Trapped in the earth, cut off from the world above, Amir realized he had stumbled upon something both wondrous and terrifying. This subterranean sanctuary held secrets that should have remained buried, secrets that powerful forces would kill to protect. And as the cavern's guardian emerged from the shadows, Amir knew he had awakened something ancient and dangerous. With his heart pounding, he raised his flashlight slowly, bracing for whatever awaited him in the darkness. Will Amir uncover the truth behind the pyramids, or will he become another secret buried beneath the sands of time? What do you think will happen next? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this thrilling tale, don't forget to leave a like, follow, and subscribe to join our growing community of history enthusiasts. Together, we can unearth more amazing stories and bring them to life. Click here to watch this video and let the adventures continue. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious. The past is never truly gone. It's waiting for us to discover its secrets.